If you follow my channel, you know that I have over 13 years of experience within photography, and I love shooting within different niches. My main one is portrait photography, but I love to experiment within different categories, and I did try so many lenses out there, not all of them because it's overwhelming how many they are, but today I'm gonna focus in one prime lens. This one would be my prime lens of choice if I would have to choose just one or own just one. It's gonna give you a lot of versatility, it's very affordable, and the quality is incredible, and I'm gonna show you so many examples for you to see. First of all, what is a prime lens? So a prime lens is a fixed focal range lens. This means that you cannot zoom in or zoom out with the lens. You will have to move around during the photo shoot. But they offer the best quality out of your camera, and they are great under low light conditions because the aperture can go as wide as f1.2. This means that the lens can open more, allowing more light into the sensor. And because of this as well, it creates a beautiful bokeh in all the pictures when you shoot at a shallow depth of field, and it creates this battery effect in the background. I was super lazy when I started photography because so many professional photographers, they were saying that they were shooting just with prime lenses. And I couldn't understand why you want to buy a lot of prime lenses, which are expensive, and then keep changing lenses during a photo shoot. I didn't feel that was convenient. But to be fair, the first time I took one prime lens, I understood why, because it has so many benefits. And my prime lens of choice regarding aperture, regarding focal length, regarding quality, regarding sharpness, regarding everything is my Sigma Art 35mm f1.4. I don't know if you can see it from there. I can't address enough how much I love this lens. And guys, I used to have a Canon 35mm f2, and I don't know why I didn't like it. And I love Canon, don't take me wrong, I love Canon, everything I have is Canon. But everyone recommended me the Sigma Art series, and when I tried this one, it was a massive difference in compared to the lens I had. So something I do a lot to upgrade my gear, and it may be useful for you, is trading your old lenses. But obviously they have to be in good conditions. I do take care a lot about my gear, so I go to the shop, they take it out, and if it's good, they give you a good chunk of money. So what I did is recover some money from that lens and then get this one, and I'm super happy with it. And because I was very happy with this Sigma, I bought later my favorite lens I always saw on my channel, which is this one. Look at this massive lens. It's a 105mm prime lens as well, f1.4, and this is my favorite lens. But I don't recommend you this one now, obviously, because it's less versatile, and if you have to choose just one, I recommend you this one, the 35. Why I recommend this focal length? The 35mm is wide, but it's not too wide. So you're gonna be able to take close-ups in terms of portrait, for example, or even product photography. You're gonna be able to take a bit wide landscapes, not too much because it still is 35mm. If it's a camera which is full frame, obviously it's gonna take more angle because the sensor is not cropped. But yeah, I find 35mm being a great focal length, and many photographers agree with me because you can shoot a bit of everything. So one prime lens, 35mm, is gonna allow you to have a lot of versatility. I do have a behind the scenes on my channel shooting with a London actress. And that day, I recommend you to watch that video. That day I took with me the Sigma 105 and the 35mm. And in the end, I ended up shooting just with the 35 because we didn't have too much time, so I didn't want to have to be changing lenses all the time. And with the 35mm, I did the whole photo shoot. Close-ups, half body, and from far away. You can check in the video as well because so many of you asked me, how did I record the B-roll of that video? And I recorded the B-roll of that video as well with my camera. I'm gonna link down below. And this Sigma 35mm, and it's incredible the bokeh it creates for both photography and video. So go check that blog if you want to see more examples, because I saw you so many pictures over there, all taken with this lens. And I didn't use this one, the 105, but please tell me below if you want me to review this massive lens with a model in London outdoors, because I'm looking forward to it. I love this lens, it's my favorite one, and I'm sure you're gonna love it. So comment below you want a review from this one. And now I'm gonna show you some examples of the 35mm. You can see on this picture the beautiful bokeh it creates, separating completely the subject from the background. It creates that blurriness, making the background super creamy, and the portrait looks incredibly sharp. Normally with a 35mm, you have to go a bit farther for the lens to don't compress too much the face. But still you can see how a 35mm does the job as well. This picture was shot through a fence, focusing just the model with a very shallow depth of field, and look at how the lens made everything else so blurry. The portrait is so sharp, and I love how the main focus is the face of the model, even if there is a lot going on the shot. This is another advantage of prime lenses. You're gonna be able to blurry out everything that doesn't interest you in the shot. Another example with the same model is this one. You can see how sharp the portrait is and how behind the barrels start to create that bokeh, focusing the attention on the model and part of the background. You saw 3 pictures with the same model at a different range. I did a close-up, I did a half body, and I did something more far away through the fence, and it's very versatile for all the shots. And now I'm gonna show you a few shots of the actress I told you about under low light conditions. I love this portrait, it's super moody and it was quite dark in the location, but locating the model under the light source and with a wide aperture, this lens captured her face perfectly lit, and look at how sharp it is. I love shooting outdoors with this lens, and if you follow my work, you know that I love moody pictures, so these ones are great. This one is another example. I edited this particular one in black and white. I located the camera very close to the wall, and look how sick it looks. At a very shallow depth of field and under low light, again locating the model under the light source, you can see how creamy the wall is, and look at the bokeh in the background as well. And here is one of my last YouTube thumbnails that I did with this lens as well. I located the camera on the floor for the lens to make it blurry. I shot at f1.4 and look at the background and how separated I am for the rest of the scene. Seriously, I really love this lens. And for product photography is great as well. Now you can see some shots I did for product photography, and they are all taken with the 35mm from this model, from these pictures as well with the bottles. All of them are taken with the 35mm, and you can see every picture is quite different to each other and is still the same focal range. I could carry on showing you examples forever because I love this lens, but guys, I think you saw and you have an idea of how versatile this focal length is and how good is the quality. And guys, the price is good. The price is super good because normally these lenses are over $1,000, $2,000, and this one is way less than $1,000. As I said before, I'm gonna link it down below so you can check it out. You have more examples as well in my last post in my blog, and I've recently launched my newsletter. After a year I've been doing YouTube, and you guys are more than 400 subscribed to my newsletter and my blog, so it was about time I designed like a micro photography magazine to send you tips so you can get value from the newsletters. You can get tips from me, you can see behind the scenes from my photo shoots in London, and you can get something from it. I didn't want to send you a boring email with lots of text because we are photographers after all and we love to scroll through pictures. So I designed it this way. I think it looks quite nice. And in this week's newsletter, if you didn't receive it because you are not subscribed yet, I added the behind the scenes in London of a huge fashion brand with a huge music band called The Vamps. I show you the video I did for them, and I show you as well the behind the scenes reportage, and you will learn storytelling tips. You will learn a lot from it. You will see as well which gear I use for the video and for the pictures. So you can subscribe to my blog and my newsletter down below through the same link. It's the same thing if you want to receive this kind of micro photography little magazines. And guys, comment below if I missed something about this lens. I think I covered everything, but you have any question about it, comment below. You know I always reply to every single comment. Sometimes it takes me longer, but I try to reply to all of you. And I will see you very soon. Big love to you all. Ciao.